Why it sucks to be in college, except for we're not American bastards, so we're doing why it sucks to be in uni. The last video I did, I yapped so much, and this is an 8-minute video, not a 2-minute video, so we're just going to get straight fucking into it.
You wake up to the sound of your roommate's alarm. It's not even your alarm, but now you're awake. Again, for the third time.
Ugh, it's not even the alarms, bro. I don't know if this is like a national city thing, but for me, it is like construction workers, bro. I go to uni in Leeds, and in Marston, it's just construction worker, like, terrible. I remember once I was smashed at my old accommodation, and I was on a much lower floor, and I was in bed, and like the window, like there was always like builder men coming up, and like the curtains were open, and I'm there in bed naked, and I don't think he saw me, but I woke up and he was just there, bro. And I was like, what the fuck? It was not an ideal situation, especially because I'm not packing. Like, if I had like a massive knob, it wouldn't be as bad.
And the sun hasn't even committed to rising yet. You check your phone. 3 new Canvas notifications, 2 emails from professors who apparently don't sleep, and a $12 charge for a textbook you forgot to return from last semester. You lie still, debating whether to face the world or just major in sleep paralysis. You pick up your hydro flask from the floor and take a swig of disappointment-flavored water. It tastes like student debt and social anxiety. College doesn't start at 8 a.m. It starts the moment you remember you're in college, and it never ends. You drag yourself to class.
Do you know what's crazy? It's about like when people miss lectures and shit. Apparently, it's like 200 quid a day if you do the math. Because what you're paying 10k a year, and like a bit under 10 grand a year, 10,000 pounds a year. And you're going in like we go in like 3 days a week. Some courses, like some people I know, they go 2 days a week, bro. Their course, every time they miss out, it's like that's 250 quid. And I know you're not actually losing that physically. And I know that a lot of it just feels like free, like, because it's obviously a loan you get. But that shit gets slapped with interest as well. Like, you're talking, like, insane amounts. So, like, what is it like? Say if you have max tuition loan, like max living loan, you've got, what, like 10k, that's 20k a year. Do a 3-year course, if not longer. Say you do 3 years, that's like 60k. And then, like, fuck, bro. And then with interest, you're talking, I'd say just like under 100 grand. You need to do that when you're earning over a certain amount, but I think the amount that you need to earn has actually been lowered, which is crazy. I understand why people do think it's a scam. I always say, and I'll say to anyone who is thinking about going to uni, I do genuinely believe you should only go to uni if you need to go to uni. Like, for example, I do acting, so in my mind, I'm from Crewe, if you would have heard of it. And it's like, I came to uni so I could get into like a city, bro. And like I could build connections and stuff like that. Like, say if you're being a doctor, you need to go to uni to be a doctor.
Because you care, but because you calculated, the professor speaks like a medieval ghost. Their slides haven't changed since 2007. Everyone around you looks equally dead inside. Someone's eating chips at full volume. Someone else
want to strengthen your math.
Someone else is knitting. There's always one kid who actually likes being here. You hate them.
You hate them, did it just say? I think that's a bit harsh.
You don't even know their name, but you hate them with your whole being.
Fuck you for actually wanting to be a stupid twat. Jesus. You know that they're the kind of people as well who like fucking put on their stories, oh, just finished my essay, I'm finally free. You know what? No, because if you do that, if you put on your main, okay, maybe a private story, maybe sending it to your fucking mum or someone who actually gives a shit. But if I see that stuff on my like main stories all the time, no one gives a fuck. I feel like this guy now just hating to hate.
And then the pop quiz. You feel your soul leave your body and hover in the fluorescent lights. You guess every answer with the confidence of a raccoon in a chemistry lab. You leave that class not smarter, just older. You decide to drive to campus one day, just once, just to save time. And that's how you discover that parking in college is a myth, a fantasy, a cruel social...
What is the take on having car? I don't drive in general. Having car in uni, are you using it that much? I guess it's very dependent on which uni you go to. A few of my friends drive, and that shit's like sick. Like useful. I imagine it's more useful when you like have houses and stuff, though, isn't it? Because obviously, like when I move into my house, that's like going to be like an hour away. So I would say that that's probably a better bet, or like a better use to have a car then.
Experiment. You pay hundreds of dollars for a permit that grants you access to a gravel wasteland 6 zip codes away. Every actual parking spot is either taken, under construction, or aggressively ticketed by someone who materializes out of thin air the second your tire kisses a yellow line. Back in your dorm, there's laundry everywhere, none of it clean. You can't tell if that smell is...
Don't even call me out. There's literally 4 bags of laundry against my room there. Not ideal. Not ideal. The thing is, though, I don't like in uni accommodations, you've got like laundry rooms where you need to pay bare for that shit. There was a security guard at mine, and he actually gave it me for free once because I always say hi to him. He was like, "Do you want my code?" He didn't give it me though. He didn't give me the code. He just put it in. He was dead like secretive about it as well, like it was some like government fucking nuclear war code. I was like, bro. But to be honest, do you know like how you have options on the washers and dryers you pay for? I put that shit on luxury, mate. I was like, fuck yeah, £5 wash. I'd never smelt so cleaner. I'm chatting shit. It was the exact same. Don't waste it. If you take anything from this video, don't waste your money on fucking luxury clean.
your socks or your dreams rotting in real time. You tell yourself you'll do laundry after your nap, which becomes a 3-hour coma broken only by hunger and a Canvas notification that makes your stomach drop into your ankles. A 10-page paper is due tomorrow. You open your laptop and stare into the void. Your essay title, The Systematic Oppression of Hope in Academia, bold, italic, centered.
See, who's even, like, what even is that? Because some people are doing essays like that. That's like, that just reminds me of, like, do you know when you go to a night out, you're there at, like, chilling, and you ask, like, the NPC question, like, oh, what course do you do? And they hit you with the, oh, I do Scientology in the economic system of fucking microwaves. And you just sat there being like, nah, lads, you've come to get a fucking piss up. You've come for a piss up. I see you at Fruity Fridays in Leeds. I see you at Function. I see you at Space. Put you on Space. Space is a shithole every week. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, it's everyone's life. I'm not here, like, judging, even though it sounds like I am, really. If you go to Space, you should be judged, though. But, like, I'm not judging. I'm just saying, like, I think it's so important to, if you are going to put yourself in this position of the debt, and I don't know, though, because, like, even if you go to uni, like, if you're changing your city, it's like, I don't know, it's like your stepping stone to becoming an adult. It definitely has challenges, but it's also, you'd learn a lot, I would say. But then you will learn a lot just leaving school and going out into the quote-unquote real world as soon as you'd finish. I don't know. I don't know if the debt is worth purely the experience of being in uni, despite that being good. And a lot of people tend to, if they do just come for, like, a piss up, or like they're not going to use their degree and they're not going to use it in a meaningful way, even though that is a normal thing to do. I've heard a lot of people, like, who have finished uni be like, oh, it felt like a fever dream. Like, it just felt like it didn't exist. And a lot of people, I wouldn't say they would regret it, though, because it's like, they always say it's like, oh, it was one of, like, the best times of my life. So I don't know. I think it's massively debatable. I personally wouldn't. I wouldn't recommend going purely just for that lifestyle. I mean, you can get pissed up at home.
As far as you get. You try to write, but your brain is buffering. You scroll Instagram instead. A girl from your high school is in Greece. A guy who dropped out is now a crypto millionaire. You're in sweatpants with an unpaid
Comparison is the thief of joy, bro.
Ticket taped to your mini fridge. Someone knocks on your door. It's your floor mate asking if you're coming to the theme party tonight. The theme is Y2K Apocalyptic Rodeo. You laugh, say maybe, and immediately retreat to the safety of...
Every time I try to lock in, there's always a motive. Like, this is, like, such a real-world problem, I know. But, like, every time I lock in, there's, like, some crazy motive. And it's like, did anyone ever hear that, like, Wilfred Zaha podcast when he was like, oh, there's always going to be, like, a new next party, you need to lock in and do that shit. And I really am trying to do that. But then you need to get the balance of you're young, you need to live a life. Also, you can make the argument for, like, creative industries, like acting, writing, social media, having a life, like, even going to parties and stuff, that's going to improve your social ability. Like, I would be better at talking to camera because I've had more experiences going out and having fun. Like, that is a genuine, productive angle you can look at it. Maybe also an alcoholic angle you can look at it, but getting pissed might help my career in that specific sense, which I find is always interesting. It's like if you were just sat there and you were like, say you were wanting to be a YouTuber. I know that's a poor example, but because this is obviously a YouTube video, and you're just sat there like, constantly being like, right, I'm gonna film, edit. Somebody invites me to do something, fuck off. My mates want to chill with me, fuck off. All of these opportunities to have fun, live a life, fuck off. I need to do this. I need to hustle, which is obviously what gets preached to a lot of young people at the moment as well. It's like, you're gonna be miserable, bro. As soon as you turn that camera on, it's gonna be very difficult to be in a good mood. Specifically, if that's the content you're doing, content similar to what this is, it's going to be very difficult to be in like a good mood. And if you are, and if not, you're going to be like inauthentic and putting on a persona, which will lead you to burn the fuck out, bro. It'll be easy. It's always easier to do things when you're happy. I believe that, which means anything that makes you happy within reason. I'm not saying go and bang a fuck ton of coke, go do a shit ton of MDMA and fucking beak, but in reason, things that make you happy are always productive. And that's something that I've been learning, because I think I fell into the trap of like grind sets, and it's like there is some value that you can take from that and content like that, even though it is mainly motivational, even though it is mainly driven by motivational epiphanies which won't last when you see things like that. There is some value you can get. You do need to work hard, 100% you do, but I do think that, but I am starting to learn how useful doing things that you actually enjoy are. Believe it or not, guys.
Darkness and artificial light. You think about going just to feel something, but then you remember what a party looks like. Sticky.
Make your browser fast.
Ads! I'm actually gonna
Make your browser
no one's
safe.
gonna watch me if I keep on doing that, bro.
Make
Sticky floors, lukewarm drinks, people yelling over TikTok music like it's the Hunger Games, and someone crying in a bathtub by midnight. You stay in and binge watch for.
There's an argument that that's just the human experience, though, innit? I don't know. When I get pissed off, I've got the perspective. I'm just seeing a bunch of drunken knobheads, and I've had a good time. I'm being a drunken knobhead myself, and I'm like, sometimes this is what it's about. Sometimes there's so much bad that can come with that. I'm not pretending there isn't, but there's also good. And in general, I feel like this is a very pessimistic outlook. I'm not saying that what this video is saying is necessarily wrong, but it is very pessimistic. Well, it's literally titled "Why It Sucks to Be in College."
For episodes of a show you don't even like. You tell yourself it's self-care. At some point, you eat a cold slice of pizza while sitting on the floor, knees to chest, like a feral Victorian child. You used to have goals. You used to have motivation. Now your biggest accomplishment this week is remembering your Zoom password without resetting it. Your parents ask how things are going. You lie. You say things are good. You say you're managing. You say the dining hall food is not bad. That's code for, I have developed a parasocial relationship with the omelet station guy. You see couples on campus holding hands like their love can survive finals week. You know better.
I haven't actually seen that many uni couples. Have you guys? Obviously, it's a thing. I think but then there's a whole thing where it's like, I don't want to be in a relationship with uni. So I wonder if it say if you have like an age range of like 18 to 22, I wonder what the different rate is if they go to, like, who's in relationships. I wonder what the rate is if you go to if you take it from like people who go to uni and people who don't go to uni, like the same age group, but the only interchangeable factor is if they went to uni or not went to uni. I imagine that it wouldn't be. I don't think that's a hot take. I'd imagine that if you don't go to uni, you'd be more likely to be in a relationship in that age demographic. No, you'd imagine so. Not saying like there's anything wrong at all being in a relationship with uni. In many ways, if you're with the right person, it's always going to help, especially in uni, because of what the challenges that being in uni has. Likewise, the challenges that being outside of uni has. But it's just, yeah, curious thinking.
You've watched too many relationships dissolve in library stairwells and passive-aggressive Venmo requests. Romance in college is either wildly unstable or deeply delusional. You either trauma bond over shared exhaustion or try to flirt between exams and existential dread. Someone once asked your attachment style in the middle of a party. You said, extra credit. You try to make friends, but everyone's either chronically busy, socially exhausted, or already has a group chat that feels more exclusive than the Met Gala. So you end up sitting alone.
Bro, there are so many. I find this not even necessarily in uni, but like in part-time jobs around uni, hospitality. Maybe not, I don't know, I would say clickiness is where I'm getting into. But I was about to say like, all just hospitality in general is quite clicky. But would you not think that would be less so in uni, to be fair? In hospitality specifically, because of the fact that a lot of the staff will be a quick turnover rotating. Like, not too many people in the age demographic that you would be mainly majoritarily friends with, like, they wouldn't stay longer than the duration of their course typically. Saying that though, just in general, I know this is fuck all to do with the video, but co-workers at work who are like 10, 20 years older than you are always the best people ever. I used to work with this lady called Diane, who was transgender, formerly Vincent, I believe. And she was amazing, bro. She was the greatest person ever. I haven't spoken to her in ages. She gave me like a little Bible. Genuinely amazing. She was like 80, bro. She would like always roll like bareback cigarettes, and she would offer me one, and I would smoke it, and then no filter, like bareback's like no filter in it, and I would smoke it, and I'd be Diane. And she said that she owned a farm. I don't know how fucking true this is, but she said she owned a farm, and she would go around, and like when people like dropped like weed on the floor, like they would finish their doob and drop it on the floor, she would go around and just like fucking pick that shit up, bro, and then just mix all of like the strands together, and eventually after doing that she would have enough like dead fucking Rogers that she would just make a doob of this like crazy like different all these like strands mixed together like a fucking weed cocktail, which is insane. I rate that it's going to be some scat trip. Like, you're going to smoke that and just think that you're getting attacked by the aliens, bro.
Alone in a study lounge at 2 a.m. next to a girl crying into her energy drink and a guy watching anime with no headphones. Time becomes fake. Days blur. You lose track of what's due when.
I hate when days blur, bro. That's like some derealization. Like, it gives me derealization. It's fucking terrible. I hate it, especially if you've got no exams and work's like slow. That's why you've always got to be trying to make systems in place. I know I've been saying that bare in my videos, but it's because it's what I'm trying to do. So I'm just saying it in general, trying to manifest it myself and for anyone who is watching. Got to put systems in, get routines in, bro. You can't be having, we can't be having these days blur, and it just breeds depression thoughts. Sometimes you shouldn't be in your head too much, bro. Can't think yourself out of an overthinking addiction, is what I like to say. And if you're doing absolutely fuck all, you've got nothing but, like, you can't do anything but think, or but smoke, or but go out and get smashed. You've got nothing else to do. So you need to be busy.
You write a discussion post at 4:47 a.m.
reasonably.
and spell analysis with a number in it. You hit submit. You feel nothing. You try to eat healthy. Once. You buy vegetables and watch them die in your fridge like a tiny expensive tragedy.
The amount I've wasted on fucking chicken, buying like a 2 kilo pack of chicken and only having half of it, is bad. I actually went on my food shop earlier and I only bought 1 kilo of chicken. I'm just going to take the 70p that I'll lose out of buying it bulk because I'm just shit.
You go back to instant ramen and emotional instability. You wonder if any of this is worth it. You pay thousands of dollars to learn things you forget the minute the exam ends. You compete for...
It's like a do not disturb setting.
For unpaid...
This video has had bare ads, you know. Bare ads. This guy's like trying to put his money up.
internships that demand 5 years of experience and a minor in time travel. You attend seminars that feel like TED Talks hosted by sentient Ambien. You take gen eds that make you question who decided anthropology was your destiny. You write essays for classes you didn't choose, graded by TAs who haven't slept since orientation. You get emails every day about mental health resources, but appointments are booked until next semester.
Yeah, that's the thing. That is an issue, especially if you live in England, the NHS, it is always booked up. But I don't know if this is just my experience because I go to it's a film school technically. It is a uni, but a lot smaller and more intimate than like a uni of, for example. And are they booked up? Because I don't want to say something wrong just from my own experience if it's different. I know that the NHS is always booked up for like mental health related things and can be challenging and tedious to do it. But I feel like it's a good approach to get on the waiting list for like professional NHS help. And then although like your uni's counselling, or even like when you do like work in hospitality, there's like helplines. I imagine there'll be helplines in any career you do. So if you're in any kind of education or any kind of workplace, I imagine there'll be some more mild support available, and accessing that whilst you are on the wait list for NHS, I feel like is the best thing to do in them situations. So I know it is arse how long you have to wait for. And like for me, like when I've felt like I've had to do that before, like I'm saying that even though I don't actually follow it myself, it's something that I do need to do because I would appreciate some kind of assistance in that way. And I always fall into the trap of like, damn, like it's gonna take for ages, so what's the fucking point? And that's a bad mindset to have, because it takes one talk with a GP or like and filling in a form. I'm not exactly sure of the exact process, but I don't imagine it's an incredible amount of effort. And even though you are waiting, it's not like you're physically sat in line waiting. You do what you need to do, and then you put onto a waiting list, and then you're in this same situation. Like day-to-day life is the exact same if you're on the waiting list or not on the waiting list. So you may as well be on the waiting list.
Consider screaming into a pillow.
But I do appreciate it. It is difficult, 100%.
But remember, your roommate is on a Zoom call in your shared closet. You can't cry in peace. Even your breakdowns are scheduled. You think about dropping out once a week, just disappearing, becoming a forest.
I always find it so sad when someone drops out. Well, maybe not sad, because I understand that like dropping out is like sometimes like dropping out is the positive thing. Maybe it's because I'm in a creative industry, like acting. I feel like if you're doing an acting course to an extent, you've got to be a bit of a dreamer. And I appreciate that some people like just genuine, and this isn't regard like some people drop out because they just don't think the course is for them. They think they've got better opportunities at home. They think that because you don't even need to go to a film school to be an actor. There's plenty of examples of like people who never did, or people who did drop out still becoming an actor. But a lot of the time you can tell they've reached like a point in their mind where they've just like broke or something. Like not broke, but like they've hit like it's built up and they're like, oh fuck, I need to drop out. And for some people, it's like, this is too difficult. For some people, it's like, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. And it's like, it's sad. And a lot of them are like, oh, I'm going to continue to do acting. But from what I've seen, a lot of people don't. And if that's a genuine decision, and I don't know, I do believe in a lot about destiny and things like that. And maybe it just wasn't meant for them and they're going to fall into a career that they're going to love even more. But for that time, for that short time, it's like they've given up on a dream. And that, to me, is just never nice. And if anyone is watching this who feels like that, I'm not calling you out or anything. Maybe you can get back into it if you still feel the calling for it. 100% still chase that shit, because people, for some reason, forget that you live fucking once. We're all going to die. And although everyone says that shit, no one seems to actually be able to fully wrap their head around it. Is that there's so much more that matters than a lot of things. I'll just say it how it is. Like, we're gonna die. Like, we don't know our purpose on earth. And I'm not saying this like, oh, you need to be an actor, you need to be fucking famous. That's what you want to be, though. If you do want to have a calling for that, if you have a calling to be a plumber, mate, if you have a calling to be a landscaper, you just need to actually be authentic and do what you want to do. I just don't think there's a scenario where you should not be what you want to be, except from very niche specific situations where you can't, especially if you are fortunate enough, which a lot of people are at our age, not everyone, but a lot of people are, to have as little amount of responsibility as what we do. I feel like you just gotta chase that shit. And that's not me saying don't drop out. Like if you feel like you need to drop out, I wouldn't advise it personally necessarily, especially if you're already like throughout the year. Because you've already paid, like say if you just fucking finished the third year, if you need to do it. But I'm just saying in general, it can sometimes be quite a sad thing. I don't know why I just fucking deep that so much.
Twitch or an Instagram barista or that person who lives in a van and makes sourdough. But then you remember the debt, the obligation, the sunk cost of 3 semesters and 12 panic attacks. You're too tired to quit, too broke to stop, too caffeinated to sleep, too behind to catch up. You spiral, then stabilize.
Learn Italian with real Italian.
Stabilize, then spiral again.
That's a really good representation of it, though. It is challenging. I feel like a lot of people who don't go to uni just be like, oh, they're going away and having a piss up. And obviously, I'm not saying it's I'm not making a comparison if it's harder, if your younger life is harder if you go to uni or not. I'm just saying a lot of people assume like you get a free ride in uni, and it comes with so many different challenges to if you don't. So many of the same, but also so many different. Likewise, if you didn't go to uni, that would come with so many more challenges that came with not going to uni. But that is a great representation of going to uni. Like I say, this video is a pessimistic view of it, and it's not going into the good. However, it's valid to a certain extent.
It's like emotional whiplash
Should find it very validating.
with the syllabus. Every time you think it can't get worse, the group project arrives. The academic equivalent of psychological warfare. You do all the work. One person disappears. One person copies Wikipedia. One person just vibes. So you carry the project and your resentment like a full-time job. And then you still get a B. You convince yourself the degree will be worth it. Someday. You picture the future like a movie montage. Suit, office, success, vague adult stability. But for now, you're just trying not to cry in public. You realize college isn't the best time of your life. It's the most expensive anxiety simulator ever created. You learn things, sure, but most of what you learn isn't in a classroom. You learn how to budget $0 across 7 meals, how to pretend you're fine when you're emotionally flatlined, how to juggle 10 responsibilities with the executive function of a potato. You keep going, not because it's fun, but because everyone else is pretending to. You sit in lectures where no one makes eye contact. You ride crowded buses in silence. You spend weekends in libraries where time dies and people cry over citations. You study so hard your brain turns into soup, and then you still forget what the midterm was about because you haven't slept in 3 days, and your body runs on...
Sleep is so important, bro. That's the thing. I've always struggled with my sleep for a while. It's so important.
On Red Bull and vibes. And when it's all over, they hand you a piece of paper and say congrats, as if that fixes anything. As if you're not about to enter the job market with a resume that lists good at Googling as your top skill.
That's what I mean. It's like this is a lot of degrees you can do, like, will not make an impact. A lot. Like, some will, obviously. To be fair, the fact if you have a degree, you put degree on your CV, they're going to like that no matter what it is, because it shows that you can be consistently work and somewhat reliable, because obviously you need to be somewhat consistent to get through uni. As debatable as you may think that is, you do. So it's like, yeah. But is it a help in certain topics, in certain subjects? Is it worth 90 grand to put that on your CV?
But you survive. That's what college really is. A slow, chaotic, expensive form of survival. And maybe that's the worst part. It's not the lectures or the quizzes or the bad Wi-Fi. It's that deep down, you're still holding on to the hope that maybe, just maybe, the next semester won't suck. And then they assign a group project in week 1. And you remember.
Group projects stress me the fuck out so much. Why it sucks to be a gay in black culture. Well, we're not going to get into that. All right, this is already a long-ass video. Great video. Like I keep on saying, very pessimistic outlook doesn't necessarily mean it's wrong. Uni comes with a lot of problems that I wouldn't say get spoke about enough. Although there is a lot of support about it, I wouldn't say a lot of people do speak about it. You've got to think, the uni lifestyle is known for getting pissed, eating fucking pot noodles every day, barely sleeping, and just getting dicked from every angle. If you're doing those things, it's not going to breed a healthy mindset, a healthy body, a healthy spirituality. It's not going to breed healthiness, is it? So, I mean, it's like, no shit. It's like it's so normalized. And I'm not, like, it's weird because I'm not going to sit here and lie. I do enjoy our culture in that sense, but it is very normalized and it's not healthy. Obviously, it's not healthy. Do you know what I mean? I am curious to just read a few of the comments, though. I hate college. Whoa, this video was so deep that I'm beginning to rethink my thoughts on going to college. Yeah, for people, if anyone is watching this, don't take this as all it is. It is true to an extent, but there is also so much amazingness, especially if you come from a small town. Just seeing the diversity, like it's helped me. Like, I don't regret it, and a lot of people who do go to uni don't regret it. So that should tell you it's not all bad. But don't. this is a reality, and it is some people's experiences. Like, not everyone's going to have the same experience to everything. So just in general, don't always tailor someone else's experience to how you're going to experience it. I really don't want to be in college, but I can't really choose where to be, so I'm watching this video for comfort. It is a very validating video. The disappointment flavoured water is so real. Bro, I hate college. People saying I haven't met anyone when I've literally never talked to a single person. Dorming and I haven't even met I'm losing my mind. I hate... Everything is scarily accurate, but it's missing the part where the parents pressure, force, or bully you into college. I don't... Is that a big thing in England for parents to force their kids to go to uni? Obviously, it's circumstantial. Yeah. Sorry, Bob. Bob's got some issues. I mean, if you're choosing to try relive high school until you're 23 or so, well, choose it. You can't tell me you had to go for some communications degree or something. Hokey pokey. That's kind of what I was saying, but I do think that's a bit harsh. I'm watching this in my senior year in college. I'm glad to graduate and don't have to do this again. This is because, okay, all these comments are based because obviously this is why it sucks to be in college, and people would only really watch this video if they were, not only, but a lot of people are, especially with 3.2 thousand views, a lot of people who are watching this video are watching it because they don't like it. So, I know this looks bad, but it's not. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's very biased towards the agenda that uni's ass, which some of it is, but not all of it is. Make your own decisions, do your own research. Don't let me or fucking Stick Figurist tell you not. However, Stick Figurist, what a banging video. I really enjoyed it, and it was very relatable and quite validating. With that being said, I would like to make some more uni content as I am a uni student. But yeah, suck ass, eat dick.